In this video, we are going to talk about the latest Nintendo Switch news that has recently dropped. These include some things that happened for the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2, like some GameStop employees were putting staples into people's Nintendo Switches. Thankfully, not mine. I got mine from GameStop. Mine is completely fine. There's also an update on there. There's also some new information on the Bravely Default remaster, which I do have some thoughts to say on that because it doesn't really look like a big upgrade to me personally. I haven't played it yet, so maybe when I get to play it, maybe I'll have a different opinion. There's also some Kirby Air Ride news too. Bit of a small news, but news nonetheless. Nintendo has also shared the pricing for Nintendo Switch 2 and accessory repairs and Joy-Con fixes too. Those Joy-Con fixes are going to get you really happy because there is something good that they're doing with the specific price. And even more good news, NateTheHate came out and said stuff about Hollow Knight's Silksong. The specific timing of when he says it's going to be releasing is very interesting, especially considering that Summer Game Fest is currently airing right now. If you guys end up enjoying this video, make sure you guys leave a like and a comment on today's topics. It really does go a long way. And if you want to follow me on Twitter and help me reach our goal of 1,000 followers, we're about, I think, like 20 or 25 away. My Twitter handle is RoboRob93. With that being said, let's get into it. So the Nintendo Switch 2 is finally out. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comment section below so far, or if you were able to get one, if you weren't, or maybe you're holding off on it. Overall, I think it is very exciting because now we're in a new generation for the Nintendo Switch, and that comes with a lot of mystery, right? The darkness. It's unknown. It's quite scary, but also kind of frightening, but like in a good way, if that makes any sense. Which, speaking of frightening, some Nintendo Switch owners did get a little frightened when they saw this on their Nintendo Switch 2. So if you guys haven't seen this yet, Go Nintendo has an article, and the title of it is GameStop Ruins Switch 2 Screen Stapling Receipts to the Box. We're not sure how widespread it was, but at least one GameStop in New York City was dashing out Switch units by stapling receipts to the box. Seems harmless at first, but when the customers got home, they were horrified to see what happened. Turns out the tiny paper receipt had done a lot of damage, and on your screen you're seeing some of the damage that happened to someone's Nintendo Switch. Now, the funny thing about well, not funny, because it's not funny if my Nintendo Switch was damaged, but when I first saw this, it was before I got the Nintendo Switch, and if you guys didn't know, I pre-ordered mine from GameStop, so my first thought was, well, am I gonna come across this on my Nintendo Switch? I mean, thankfully that didn't happen, and it was completely fine, so that was good. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys received like any damages from your Nintendo Switch. Did you have to bring it back, or was it just completely fine? Because that gave me a mini heart attack when I saw the title. Now, Go Nintendo has made an update because GameStop did reply to all of this controversy, and this is what the update says according to their website. GameStop has released a statement on this matter, and you can read it in full below. We've addressed a unique case of staples damaging Switch 2 screens isolated to one store. Replacements have been offered. Staples have been confiscated. With that being said, let's move on to the next video. So if you guys didn't know, there were some more looks at Bravely Default for the Nintendo Switch 2. And the one thing I really want to focus on there is the graphic comparison to the 3DS. Quite honestly, it doesn't look too bad when you're comparing it to the 3DS, I mean. But when it comes to just the Nintendo Switch 2 version, I feel like they could have done way better. This is also one of those games that is not actually on the cartridge too, so it is going to be one of those games that I will check out, but I'm going to be renting it from GameFly, so I'm not buying the game. I think my main problem with this is that it kind of looks like someone's running that 3DS emulator, and on the 3DS emulator you can upscale the image and overall make it a lot clearer, and it looks exactly like that. So it does feel like a little cheap to me, if I'm being honest. I said the same thing about the Super Mario 35th anniversary with Super Mario 64. I feel like Nintendo could have did more with the Super Mario 64, right? Funny enough, that also received some upgrades too. Maybe it's something that you have to play yourself and then you'll appreciate the difference between the two games. Maybe then I'll understand, but right now it doesn't really look like they did too much to it, but I guess we'll see. Now, speaking of games that have game key cards, My Nintendo News has an article that has the title this, and it's pretty interesting, and it might actually give you guys a headache and maybe make you a little angry. So the title is Publishers Thankful to Nintendo for Game Key Cards on Nintendo Switch 2. My stance on game key cards before I read through this article is that I don't like game key cards. I want them to be on the actual cartridge. But with that being said, I do understand that this allows for more games to come to the platform, even if it's not in the way that we all want it to. And again, I'm not saying that I want this. I know there are some people who are probably typing very angry comments in the comment section below right now. Without this, would developers actually put it on the whole cart? Well, I guess we'll see eventually, because I'm sure Nintendo will probably get larger carts. But anyways, let's read through the article. Nintendo Switch 2 game keycards are a hot topic at the moment, and for good reason, with the vast majority of customers preferring the complete game on the standard cartridge rather than the digital download. However, publishers have said that they are essentially pleased with Nintendo for providing game keycards, as it helps them lower the cost, as they don't have to purchase cartridges with 64 gigabytes of storage. The news was shared by Bloomberg by the president of the Japanese video game consultor. I'm not even going to try to say that word. The company is Firm Chaos Inc. But yeah, to be honest, I would rather have the game on the cartridge. That's just my personal preference. I mean, you need internet to download the games, and you need the servers that hold the games to download them, right? I would assume so. So what happens when they shut down the eShop and shut down the servers? Do you still have access to your games? Is that connected directly to your account, or do you have to have that on their server? Also, I think it's just better to have them on the cartridge themselves. And moving on to the next bit of news, Sakurai has come out and said some things on Kirby Air Riders. It's a small bit of news, but it's just nice to kind of hear from it. And this is what he says. It's called Kirby Air Rider. It will take some time until the release, but all the staff are working hard, so please wait. Now, more than likely, I think this is probably going to be a 2026 game. If they say it's going to take some time, I'm guessing at least a year and a half, so the release date is probably going to be sometime in the middle of 2026. We already have a ton of different games already lined up for the Nintendo Switch 2, so I'm not really too surprised by that. But with that being said, when do you guys think this game is going to release? Do you think it's going to be in 2026, or do you think maybe at the end of 2025? Think like December or maybe January. And moving on to the next topic, we do have some pretty good news for people who need to get their things fixed when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2, which I hope you don't need to get anything fixed just yet, because the system just came out. Unless GameStop puts staples in your Nintendo Switch, then I guess maybe you need to get it fixed or take it back to them and get a new one. With that being said, let's get to the article. So Go Nintendo's article has a title of this. Nintendo shares price for Switch 2 system and accessory repairs. Joy-Con 2 fixes are free. And that's the thing that I think you guys are going to like, that the Joy-Con are free. Well, the fix for it anyways. So this is what Go Nintendo had to say. The Switch 2 is considerably more expensive than the Switch, and that goes for the system's accessories as well. Not surprising, it'll also cost more to fix the Switch 2 issues should something go wrong. The Switch 2 has a limited 1-year warranty, but once that ends, you'll be expected to cough up some serious cash to get repairs done. Pricing will vary on what issue it is, but for the sake of argument, here's what the repairs will cost if water damage is the problem. So keep in mind, this is just for water damage. So if your console is water damaged, it's going to cost $179 to repair. If the dock has water damage, it's $66. The camera has water damage, $30. The AC adapter is going to be $18, and the Pro controller is going to be $48. And they also say it is worth pointing out that getting Joy-Con 2 repairs appears to be free, which is both a good thing and a cause for concern. Nintendo also offered free Joy-Con repair on the original Nintendo Switch, and we all know why that is. Oh, that's not good. I didn't know that before reading this article. No, don't tell me there's going to be issues with the I hope not, because I already had to replace my original Joy-Con. Let me know in the comments section if anyone has actually come across any problems with the Joy-Con. Like it doesn't matter what it is. Let me know in the comment section below, because if they're offering free ones, then there has to be something behind that. And moving on to the last topic of today. So Silksong, a game that everyone is waiting for. So the title of my Nintendo News article says, NateTheHate says Hollow Knight Silksong's releasing before summer ends. The interesting thing about this is that Summer Game Fest is going on right now, and Gamescom is in August too. So what are the odds we actually get a release date by the time this video is out when Summer Game Fest ends today? Well, at least the first day, because it does go for multiple days, so maybe we'll get a release date later on. But anyways, this is what the article says. Video game insider NateTheHate, who has been on the money with leaks as of late, has said in a new video that the eagerly awaited Hollow Knight Silksong is coming this summer. He said he expects a release date to be announced at Summer Game Fest. So I didn't read this article yet, so I didn't know that information, but he says he expects it to be at the Summer Game Fest, and that's what I just said. And it said it's on Friday, obviously that's today, and that or later at the Xbox Showcase, which, by the way, the Xbox Showcase is going to be on the 8th. It's going to be this Sunday, so if it's not there, it's probably going to be there. I would be very shocked if it is going to be a summer release date. They wouldn't announce it at Summer Game Fest, right? Unless it's going to be at Gamescom. And of course, then NateTheHate would be wrong. Now, the reason why they say it makes sense that it would be also at the Xbox Showcase is because it is coming to Game Pass day one. Remember that? If you do have Game Pass, you can play it on there. Unless you want to own it, or you're going to wait for like the Switch 2 version, which that's exactly what I would do. Or I am going to do, I should say. But yeah, those are the topics for today. Let me know what you guys think about that down in the comment section below. Are you excited for Hollow Knight Silksong possibly getting a release date? What do you think about GameStop putting staples in the Nintendo Switch? Did you run into any issues when it came to your specific Switch when you got it from wherever you got it? Just overall, drop a comment on one of the topics down in the comment section below. It really helps the video, and of course, subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.
Shown when you